Alright guys, I got my new critters. These are the ones that I'm getting in exchange of the Theraphosa sturmey I told you about in the last two videos. Let's see what I got. Alright guys, you think you can guess what this one is? New World Arboreal. Probably what I would say is one of the most beautiful tarantulas out there that's been discovered. I've never owned this species before, so I really look forward to getting this one. Well, let's see what I got. Here's what they look like as slings. Beautiful turquoise-like color. This is the Avicularia versicolor, the Antilles pink toe. I'm really excited to get one of these finally. This one's only about an inch. Looking gorgeous as all get out, and will only get prettier. So yeah, cute little avic. You just gotta love your avics. You didn't want to go back in there. Oh, there's a good view right there. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that. Beautiful. As you know, they also like to leap about. So, there we go. Let's see what else I got. Gorgeous. This is an old world terrestrial / burrower. I've had this, one of the genuses of this before, but never this particular species. Let's have a look. And like with all old worlds, fast, potent venom, but this will just be a little baby, so I'm not too intimidated by it right now. But is already showing signs of wanting to be fast. This is the Ceratogeras darlingi, the curved horn baboon. I've had the Ceratogeras brachycephalus before, but I've never had the darlingi. So they doesn't have the horn right now, but as it gets older, it's going to grow a horn on its carapace that curves backwards. So yes, very nice. Very good Webbers too, of course. Well, there you go. Let's go ahead and attempt to put that one in. They're very skittish. Alright. Ceratogeras darlingi. Alright. See what else I got. Alright. I already have several of this genus, but I don't have this particular species. This is another Old World terrestrial slash burrower. They web like crazy. I already have the guancinensis, the fimbriatus, and the discalus. So I bet you can guess what that is. I don't know how to pronounce it right. Kraken, perhaps? So yes, Chilobrachys Kraken. And I'm probably butchering that name. And just like with the last one, fast, potent venom, your typical Old World. So let's see how this one is doing. Yep. And there we go. Has that typical kind of elongated looking abdomen. Very long-legged creatures. These guys you keep very similarly to the discalus, a little bit on the moist side. And they kind of look like the discalus, except more grayish than bluish. But right now, as you see, just kind of a drab looking color, but that's your typical sling color. So yeah, awesome. Well, let's attempt to put this one back in without any fuss. With these guys, you can get fuss very easily. There we go. It worked out as a sling. Chilobrachys species Kraken. See, what is the common name again? Thailand blue. Yeah, had to double check that. Alright, one more tarantula and another invert. Alright, another Old World terrestrial, but these guys also like to burrow immensely. I already have another of this genus, different species. I already have the orphanaceous species blue, and now I have the orphanaceous Filipinus, the Filipino Orange. So yes, these guys look very much like the OBTs, except more of a smoother look with no markings like the OBTs do on the abdomen. Just kind of a smooth orange look, kind of a thin look. They look like they can run fast. So yeah. So let's have a look. I don't know what these guys look like as slings, so I guess we'll find out in a minute. I don't know when the orange starts to show, but we're going to see. Oh, yep. Not orange yet, still all brown. But see what I'm saying? They look like they can run very fast. They kind of have that same type of body as the Chilobrachys do. Kind of the elongated abdomen and the longer looking legs. But yes, they move very fast too. So yes, no orange yet, but maybe in the next molt or two we'll start to see. You know, I could barely see some orange, I think, coming through at the bottom, like near the feet. But other than that, not really. So let's go ahead and put this one back in. Or it'll put itself back in, which is fine with me. There we go. And if this was a larger tarantula, I would not have put my hand there, because these guys have a nasty bite, being an old world. There we go. And this one I can already tell is very feisty. Okay. But yes, very cool. Alright, one more left, but it's not a tarantula. I already have one of these, but it's a baby, and this one is an adult. This is the, oh my goodness, I cannot ever remember the H. Anyway, this is an Asian forest scorpion. Oh yeah, here we go. I had to look up the name. Heterometrus spinifer. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Asian forest scorpion. And this, I guess, is full size. They get up to be about, what, 5 or 6 inches? These giant ones here. And that looks to be about 5 inches. So let's open it up very carefully. Look at there. Now these guys like it definitely on the damp side. They love to burrow. They're not like your typical scorpion that you think of that lives out in the desert. These are the kind that like damp substrate and like to burrow. And the venom is not potent with these guys. They rely more on their pinchers and just running away and hiding than they do the potency of their stinger there at the end of the tail. So yeah, got me a big one of these. I might be able to handle this one, but I don't know the personality of this one yet. So, but I'm not going to stress it out today, being that it traveled. So let's go ahead and work on our transfers into their new homes. How about that? Alright, stay tuned for that. Alright, here's the setup for my Asian forest scorpion. This actually right here is like the smallest critter keepers, and I don't really care for them anymore, so I'm actually using that as a hide. So there's room down there for it to go back there and enjoy the secludedness of its burrow. Plenty of damp substrate. There's the water dish, just some decor. So now let's put this one in. Now these guys you can pick up by the tail. It's not something I would do on a regular basis, just I don't feel good about doing it, but it can be done. So, or what I might do instead of doing that is just set the container in there like that. And then, see if I can, oh yeah, that looks like a defensive posture to me. There you go. There's an angry forest scorpion. And there he goes. That's exactly where I wanted you to go. Sweet. Still has his claws open. So yeah, that actually worked out quite well, and it looks like the perfect hide. So we'll do an update on this one later and let it de-stress, for a few days and see how it makes its new home. Alright, let's move on to some teas. Alright guys, I have the Sling Arboreal set up for this Avicularia versicolor. I got plenty of ventilation holes in there. Not much humidity, just enough to get a drink after its travel. Some leaves, fake leaves, to web up and cocoon itself and its webbing latched onto those leaves, and just a little bit of substrate. Too small for a water dish, so like I've said in other videos, I'll just need to be diligent in providing water by lightly misting it on the sides and the leaves so they can get a drink that way. And those holes are closed up by tape just to keep a little bit of the humidity in, but not too much. Alright, let's go ahead and transfer the versicolor. Alright, got a little catch cup ready because these guys can leap about and be quite quick. Oh, gotta get my paintbrush too. Help scoop it out. Alright, let's give it a go. And of course, it wants to do what I expect it to do. There you go. Now I need to try to close the lid without squishing its legs, but successful. Alright, we'll leave this one in to get a drink and de-stress. Moving on. Next up, I just have a tiny Deli Cup for the Ceratigyra starlingi, and just a little leaf to hide under, web under, burrow under. Again, too small for a water dish, so I just sprayed moisture in there so it can get a drink. There we go. Yep. Safe and secure. Alright. Let that one de-stress. Let's move on. Here's where I'll put the Chelobrachys, a larger Deli Cup. So let's go ahead and work on that. The only thing different with this one compared to the last one is I gave it a little extra humidity since they like it. So let's see if this one can be just as painless as the others. Well, that worked out good. And there it is. Alright, let that one get a drink. Alright, let's move on. Alright, the Wharf Filipinus will be put into this more vertical enclosure. Not that it's arboreal necessarily, but just to give it extra substrate to burrow down. And it's, you know, has such an elongated body. I thought it might like it in here for now. Obviously, it'll be put in a wider enclosure the bigger it gets. But that's what we got right now. I'm going to just kind of start a burrow by just kind of pushing the paintbrush tip down like that. And gently pull it out, and then they could do the rest or they could make their own, whatever. And I'm just going to spray some water droplets on the sides there. The substrate is just barely damp, just enough to kind of make the substrate easy to work with. So I'm just going to put some water droplets on the side there so it can get a drink. Alright, let's do the transfer. Alright. Let's get started. This one may have already done a little bit of webbing. There we go. Alright. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. The next video I will post will either be the sling feeding video or the boxing of the Theraphosa sturmey. I don't know which one yet, but you'll see. Alright guys, thanks for watching.